The goals of this exercise program is to strengthen shoulder and back musculature responsible for scapular stability, giving the humerus a stable base to move on. To restore proper rhythm between the scapulothoracic and glenohumeral joints, allowing for better length-tension relationship in the muscles acting across the glenohumeral joint to produce shoulder motion. And to strengthen shoulder and back musculature that, if weak, can hinder proper biomechanics and increase the risk for shoulder or biceps pathologies. The first exercise we're using is to work on scapular stabilization, and that is the Beast shoulder taps. The goal for this exercise is to strengthen your scapular stabilizing muscles. When you lift one limb off the ground, you narrow your base of support, forcing you to really engage those muscles to resist movement of the scapula. The regression is a Beast hold. We're going to remove the shoulder tap portion of the exercise, but you're still working against gravity to resist any unwanted scapular motion, such as scapular retraction or rotation. A progression for this exercise is a Beast crawl. Adding movement to this exercise will require even more scapular stability as you alternate between a stable position and a less stable position. Some cues for this exercise are to make sure that you're moving your limbs contralaterally and you keep the steps relatively short. To work on scap dyskinesis, we're going to be doing banded serratus punches. This is going to help your scapula properly move around your thoracic cage. For this exercise, wrap a band around your back and grab it with each hand with your arms out in front and flex slightly higher than shoulder height. Punch forward, letting your scapula protract and rotate naturally. To regress this exercise, just remove the band. A progression for this exercise is a scapular push-up. For this exercise, set up in a tall plank position. From here, keeping your elbows locked out, let your chest down towards the ground, pinching your shoulder blades behind you, and then push your shoulder blades apart and round your upper back. The bottoms-up kettlebell hold is an exercise that targets overall shoulder stability as well as proprioception. The unstable nature at the kettlebell position really engages the rotator cuff musculature responsible for scapular stability. Assume a tall kneeling position and flex your arm to approximately 90 degrees. Hold the kettlebell in a bottoms-up position and maintain that position. To regress this exercise, replace the bottoms-up kettlebell with a dumbbell. This is slightly more stable but will still engage your shoulder musculature to maintain that stability. You can also move to a half kneeling position for less core demand. To progress this exercise, add in an overhead press. This will require you to maintain shoulder stability throughout the entire range of motion. Before attempting this exercise, make sure that you have the requisite mobility to overhead press. Also, make sure to keep your core engaged by keeping your ribs down and keep your hips in a neutral position. Banded YTWs are another great exercise to improve scapular rhythm that require almost all scapular movements. For this exercise, you want to anchor a band to something sturdy and raise your arms to form a Y shape. Make sure you're not overcompensating with your upper trap and shrugging your shoulders. To perform a T, pull the band apart and squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. For the W, you want to simultaneously pull the band towards you and externally rotate your arms, finishing in a W position. A regression to this exercise is the prone YTW. This can be performed on the bench or on the floor. To perform this exercise, lay down either on the floor or on a bench, and with your thumbs up, raise your arms straight up to your sides, making a Y. For the T portion of this exercise, have your arms out at your side making a T, thumbs up, and then lift your arms up to the air. But instead of lifting your arms, I want you to think of squeezing your shoulder blades together to create this movement. For the W, start with your arms in the Y, and then pull your elbows back towards the sides of your body, simultaneously trying to externally rotate your arms, bringing your thumbs further behind your body up towards the ceiling. To progress this exercise, you can perform it using a TRX. Using a TRX, grab the TRX and angle your body, and then pull yourself up towards the anchor point, keeping your arms in a Y position. For the T, think of ripping the TRX apart and squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. For the W's, pull yourself up towards the anchor point while simultaneously externally rotating your arms into a W position. Since you're using your body weight for the resistance in this exercise, you can make it harder by either moving your feet further towards the anchor point or make it easier by moving your feet away from the anchor point.